Hello out there. Heavy Monte here. You can see my left eye is a little red. I think I'm coming down from the cold. But anyway, welcome to the Heavy Montes podcast and my comedy show. Now in America, I want to talk about that notorious Republican Party. And you have heard today that they have caught a suspect in the killing of an assassination of Charlie Kirk. You see what I'm saying, America? Now, when he was shot, the so-called influencers, and corporate news and Fox News government propaganda were all talking about the left. Jesse Waters even came on almost, in my opinion, declared war that he wants to kill us. You see, America? For something that the left, the so-called left, and I want you to stop calling the Democratic Party the left, assholes. We're the Democratic Party. You're the right. Yes, I'm saying you can call yourself whatever you freaking want. Call us the Democratic Party. We're not ran by a pervert, a convict, and a pedophile. We're not ran by liars and crooks, that took away the people, the poorest of the poor, money and gave it to billionaires. Now, Heavy is here today to tell you, that the Republican Party, they've stooped real low when they went around and said that they declared war on the Democratic Party, when their criminal president said they hate Democrats. So the crying call today from every Democrat that stayed home, you have a party that hates you. And if they hate your ass, they will try to kill you. Because that's what they said. That's what they said. Civil war. They shot Charlie Kirk down. Somebody that we don't give a damn about. You know what I'm saying? Charlie Kirk is the enemy of the Democrats. And anybody, who think differently than he. So I'm not going to sit up here and give him any kind of goddamn respect. You understand? I respect his wife, his children. I expect his life, and I respect him being able to say it without one of his own, they say, gunning them down like a damn dog. You see what I'm saying? One of their own. Because that party, that Republican Party, is embroiled in evil, America. They are the lowest of the low. They hate Americans. How can you lead a nation when you hate the majority? When you hate people, citizens of America? How can you lead? How can anybody say that the Republican Party should be in control of anything? I would not trust them with my freaking dog. Because they care more about Donald Trump than they care about our children. Our children die. They don't give a damn. And they teach their young white males, to be assassins and murderers. Yeah? You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. Because it happens over and over again. It happened in my hometown of Charleston, South Carolina, where they gunned down people in a church. And they took the guy to McDonald's and bought him a freaking hamburger. You see what I'm saying, America? Because that state is controlled by MAGAT Republicans. You see what I'm saying? Supermajority. Their damn governor might as well be Robert E. Lee himself. And the stupid ass people keep voting over and over for those Republicans because they say God told them. But you can see there is nothing godly about a racist, misogynist Republican Party. There's nothing godly about them. You see what I'm saying? No human being with any kind of morality would do what they did to the Hispanics. No human being, with any type of morality will walk by a statue in the South and say, that's a good thing when they murdered and butchered black people. You see what I'm saying? And molested our children back then. Now they're molesting yours. You see what I'm saying? That party that you get out and tell everybody that you're going to hurt Democrats. That's why we don't want to be hanging out with you people, because you're freaking crazy. Huh? What the hell are you messing with us for? You can have as many freaking abortions as many babies as you want. You can go to church and believe that shit. Believe us the hell alone. Huh? Your religion is not the dominant religion of the nation. That's a freaking lie. Huh? In God we trust, they say. You know what I'm saying? Who is your God? Huh? I'm talking to your people on the left. Huh? Because it damn sure ain't the one I know about. You see what I'm saying? There's nothing good about an evil Republican Party. You see? And I'm not going to have to sit here and tell all you people out there what the Republican Party is doing. You can see it for your damn self. You know what I'm saying? You can see it for yourself. You can understand what we're up against. The greatest nation brought to their knees by a pervert, some say a pedophile, and some religious theology. Huh? They're coming in telling us that they want us to live like them. Who wants to do that shit? Huh? Come on. Who wants to do that? Huh? We need to choose our faith. Nobody tell us where to go. You see what I'm saying? They said there were many paths to God. Not your past Project 2025. We don't follow that shit. So this is Heavy Monte saying that the Republican Party, with their MAGAT president, declared war along with Fox News on us, the Democratic Party. So now we are declaring war back on their ass, America. We are registering to vote. We are getting our friends to vote, and we're going to tell our Republican, family members who voted for Donald Trump, you're voting Democrat, or don't you come over to my freaking house again. You see what I'm saying? That's what we're going to tell them. You understand? You're voting Democrat. Because if you vote again for the Republican Party, you just killed your goddamn self. Huh? No future for your children. Huh? Because they're in power. Huh? Now. You see what I'm saying? And Democrats can't do nothing. You're talking about the Democratic Party. You have to give the Democratic Party power. Now, I'm going to tell you one more thing before I leave. Let you know the Republicans are in bullshit. Now, John Thune, who I think is a freaking criminal, I'm trying to say, because he placed all those bad cabinet peoples in. He know those cabinet people not qualified to be on the cabinet, but he did anyway. You know what I'm saying? Put the nation in danger. See what I'm saying? So that's just my opinion about him. I think he's an asshole. And you vote for him again, you're a damn fool. He said that he's going to do the nuclear option because he feel America, that the Democrats are stopping him from putting in more assholes, more unqualified people. You understand? Huh? The country already rocking and reeling, and John Thune and MAGA Mike Johnson can't stand up and do shit, they say, because they are Donald Trump. They're running this shit. They're hiding behind him, You see what I'm saying? And Donald Trump, they tell him, you president. He go out there thinking he president. You see what I'm saying? They can't tell me he ain't president. You see what I'm trying to tell you, America? America, these Republicans are full of shit. And don't vote for them. Don't vote for them. You know what I'm saying? Like I have conversations with them, right? And I'm telling you right now, and I'm going to tell the Republicans one thing, I'm going to tell you guys you're in trouble. Because Donald Trump don't need you no more. The Russians and the Chinese and the Koreans and the Iranians are on the web speaking for you, you dumb ass. Heavy knows. Because they come on these bots, they come on my site, because they identify me right now in trouble. You see what I'm saying? So they come on my site talking shit. I used to arrest their ass. I'm talking to them. You see what I'm saying? Because they're not human beings. They're computers. Got the system rigged for Donald Trump. You see? So they're losing control of the narrative. They're giving control of our country to foreigners already. The Chinese, what I'm saying, and Russia. Russia. Huh? Russia economy, this is the size of one of our small states. They don't have no money. They're poor ass, you know what I'm saying? Over there bluffing and shit. you know. And Donald Trump, because he's a taco, and he's afraid of Vladimir Putin because they said Vladimir Putin will hold some shit on his ass. You know what I'm saying? So, but the shit's coming out. You know what I'm saying? I think Donald Trump will hold a lot of trouble. People are saying that he's going to have to resign. And Heavy believes it. Heavy believes he's going to have to resign. You know what I'm saying? Because the shit is drip, 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 drip. Because when you go after the king, you just can't wound the king. And he's king. And he'll come back and tear your ass up. You know what I'm saying? Even if he did it, he'll say, I didn't do it. Even though 15 people saw me. You see what I'm saying? All right, this is Heavy Monte for the Heavy Monte podcast and the Heavy Monte Comedy Show. And don't forget, Democrats, they declared war on us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, they're ready to kill us, man. Over Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk is out there, man, calling black people all kind of N words. You know what I'm trying to say? Hey, yeah, I'm going to tell you right now. You know what I'm saying? I ain't got no respect for him. Calling black people all kind of names. Talking about, I heard about, he talking about women should obey their husband. Talking about a man can beat the shit out of his wife. Slap her around. You know what I'm saying? And she better stay with him. You see what I'm trying to say? The man's a goddamn fanatic. You know what I'm trying to tell you? And what happened, I'm going to say something to you. It is not liberals that Donald Trump got to worry about. Because, we hurt. You know what I'm saying? We hurt. We're a little upset. But those people who he lied to, because all the people who doing all the crime right now are liberals. Are right wing. You know what I'm saying? The right wing guy went after Donald Trump. You know what I'm saying? They're right wing people now. You see what I'm saying? We kicking back. We're relaxing, watching this clown show, America. But I want to say, that the Trump Republicans are coming to a terrible end. Now, this is the eyes of September. Now, this latest thing didn't work out for them. You know what I'm saying? It didn't work out, and we're very fortunate that it wasn't, a so-called left-wing person that did this, because they'd have been out there marching and they would have killed us. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. You see what I'm saying? These people are freaking dangerous, America. You all of a sudden, Charlie Kirk gets killed, a right-wing fucking nut. You know what I'm saying? And so they're going to put him up, hold him up the way they did Donald Trump. Hey! And J.D. Vance walking in front of the freaking casket. You know what I'm saying? Because he ain't the vice president for nobody but his maggots. You know what I'm saying? That's the reason why he'll never be president. If Donald Trump leaves and he's president, nobody gonna recognize him because he don't recognize the American freaking people. Now I don't understand how you can become the president and go tell the people you hate, the majority in your party. Not one of them bastards got up and said, look here, man, you're wrong. You shouldn't be saying that. And they're making it real smooth for us. Boy, America, that got dang on Supreme Court got gave the president so much power. Imagine what we can do. Huh? We can finally, if you give us the vote, America, get health care for the people. We can finally construct the government for everybody. And if the maggots don't want it, don't give them shit. You see what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We have to figure out a way, seriously, America, if somebody is saying that, the government is in their business, the government is doing all this stuff, we need to make it, as easy as it can, for them to, have peace, whatever, You see what I'm saying? And that's why the American government is good, because we don't be trying to take and do things to, the American government should come out and say, look, just because in God we trust on the dollar, we got a bunch of different religions. You know what I'm trying to say? You're telling me that you want me to hang up the Ten Commandments in a building in the Church of Satan? They want to build a damn statue outside. So what am I going to do? Am I going to tell the Church of Satan they can't build a damn, see what I'm saying, statue? That's how evil exists. That's how Trump came about. You see what I'm saying? Telling people that, the government, isn't any good and they're in your business and they're trying to get you, which is a damn lie. You see what I'm saying? Telling them that, black folks, who went to Jim Crow, and they're still messing with us today, trying to mess us up. Trump got black unemployment up at 8%. You know we ain't voting for him again. And the Hispanics, Hispanics coming around. You know what I'm saying? And they're deporting white people now. Irish women. They kick an Irish woman out. So the white people, so-called white people, they coming for your ass too. This is Heavy Monte for the Heavy Monte podcast and the Heavy Monte Comedy Show. Never, ever vote for a Republican. Don't do it. Don't do it. And please subscribe to the Heavy Monte YouTube channel. And, they declared war on us, America. That's what they said. Huh? Jesse, that's crazy. Not on Fox News. That's him. Jesse Waters, what's his name? He said, well, we're going to kill him. Words to that effect. Have a great day.